I think it's a lost cause. I think we've all seen over the last couple of years of what the Labour government's done. I think it's just the same thing. If not, I think it could be worse than Starmer. So, I mean, there's all these empty promises. I mean, they're all as bad, the Tories. You know what I mean? They're all in it. It's a business, isn't it? They're businessmen, so they're just like, you know what I mean, greasing their own thing to get by. But I can't see from what he said so far. You've got to remember he's unelected as well. Do you know what I mean? No one voted him in to be Prime Minister. I just think he's a bit too far left to sort of win people over.
Well, if he's going to promise us this, that and the other, in 2 or 3 years' time, he's not going to be able to do it, is he? I don't think so. I mean, look at the one that's just finished. He promised us this, that and the other, and we still haven't got it, so he's passed the buck, I think.
I have voted Labour most of my life. Sometimes I haven't. I voted Green. So I'm a bit of a floating voter, but I am a sort of centre-left sort of person. So, you know, he doesn't need to do too much to win over my vote. But I think he does need to hold an election. We do need Prime Ministers who have a mandate. I don't quite understand why they got rid of Keir Starmer. He had an enormous mandate from the British people to govern for 4 years. Andy Burnham has to prove that he has more than just overriding ambition.
Never in a million years will I vote Labour. I am a Tory lady, but I have actually just joined Reform. Yes.
Is there anything Andy Burnham could do to make you vote Labour?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all would make me vote Labour. No, nothing at all. He will be another failed politician like the rest of them are, and that's what happened with him. Yes. I'm sorry to say that, but that's my view.
I voted for Corbyn, and I haven't supported Labour since. I've supported the Green Party because of their stance on Palestine and Gaza. And for Andy Burnham to win over my vote, he would have to call for a complete embargo on Israel and not support any exports, not just specific things like he said, but anything that went out to just basically complete support for the end to the genocide and support for the Palestinians.
I do vote Labour anyway. He just hope he looks after the old people in England rather than the refugees.
I've never voted for Labour, no. I'd be tempted because I want what's best for the country. But I've never seen a Labour leader yet that can do it for me.
What would they have to do to win your vote?
They would have to have a very, very, very strong foreign policy. That's really important.
She said, oh, he's kind of red corner.
What I'm trying to do here is make the UK one team where we're all pulling behind you because your places are where growth happens or it doesn't happen. And I think we've got to get a different approach to making that change happen. And this is basically what we're here to discuss. So it does start with Whitehall, and it does start with the National Economic Council. Obviously, want to welcome our Secretaries of State and our new Chancellor to this meeting today, colleagues from parts of government, obviously Antonia, the Cabinet Secretary, but also colleagues from MHCLG and other departments. Our first job, I think, is to make sure Whitehall is coherent in terms of its positions around growth. And that's what the National Economic Council is designed to do. I'll bring John in a moment, because John served on the National Economic Council in 2008 when it was stood up after the financial crash. It was recognised then that business as usual wasn't going to get us out of that position and get growth going. And it was successful in that. But similarly, as we saw in the pandemic, you galvanise for a period and then we sink back to a business as usual that doesn't actually work. So by reconvening the National Economic Council, we're trying to regain that very focused approach to growth. Whitehall cohering around a single approach, the big growth departments on the permanent council, and then kind of reaching out from there to you and the wider world. Now, the National Economic Council is a cabinet committee. It does carry significant weight in the government machinery, so it won't be every issue that you raise with us that we'll pick up. Those issues will be dealt with in a different way. But what we are looking for, particularly from today, is what are the themes that cut across everywhere, and what are the things where we need to use the National Economic Council to drive devolution that bit further to support you. So probably we will pick those up in the conversation, and Antonia will sum up on those at the end of the meeting. So that's part of the new infrastructure, the reconvened National Economic Council. The second bit, of course, is number 10 North. And this is a huge change. And I think it's really important that John and I are here together in front of you today. I'm delighted that John is our new Chancellor. We have worked together over many years, and we've lived through some of the things that I've described. John has got huge experience of the Treasury, but also, I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, saying someone who's always spoken up for the cause of devolved power in your role. What we are doing here is bringing the Treasury and number 10 close together. We've often kind of spoken about that in the past. Are they sufficiently aligned on growth? Are we pulling together at the centre of government in the same direction? And that's what we're seeking to achieve, with a little tilt towards the very centre, number 10, so that we can drive the change from that centre at its most powerful to then unlock the things that you are dealing with. And that's what number 10 North is. I've described it as the nerve centre for a rewired country. That's how you should see it. The place where kind of Whitehall will come through to you, but then you can come back through and seek that further transfer of power that you need to be able to make the changes that you need. Week to week, it'll be something of a situation room for growth, where we're kind of like working with you in a real-time way, ministers dialing in and some of our arm's length bodies dialing in just to hear what's holding you back, just taking time out of the whole process, which I know you know so well. So that is how number 10 North clicks in, if you like, to that kind of infrastructure behind it, the National Economic Council. And then all of it is about reaching to where you are and then making your job easier and giving you the tools, the power, the resources that you need to get growth going.